Boys and girls at Hello Games, I draw your attention to the lower right-hand corner. Settlement is under attack. Hunt and destroy Sentinel forces. Unknown remaining cycle weapon mod with triangle. Quest trace metal. Here's the thing. I upgraded the settlement up to the point where I could abandon it, and I have abandoned it. So there's no settlement for me to go to respond to this quest. Also, honestly, it shouldn't even start the quest if you don't have a settlement. A couple suggestions. One, give people, your customers, the people who play your game, give them the power to refuse quests. I've done a dozen campaigns at this point, a dozen saves. Not interested in redoing certain things, but unfortunately you happen to pass by something, whatever, and it triggers the quest. Well, at this point I actually went through the settlement quest just long enough to be able to abandon it, which should have removed the trigger for a trace of metal. And I'm just not interested in doing the trace of metal quest. But here we are again. You should be able, especially if you're like in creative mode or in custom mode, be able to populate your base with the NPCs by simply purchasing the stations via the anomaly, as opposed to have to redo a quest all over again. And by running into a bunch of raiders I lost. Direction of the mission I was on. I don't know. Maybe an option. Destiny does this. They have in a separate location abandoned quests. So if you're concerned about people not being able to do the quest because they rejected it, it's fine. I appreciate that. And I'm a very firm believer of more options than less. Making an extra tab on the base computer. Abandoned quests. Okay, I think we're landing here. So, that's it, folks. Take care. To the boys and girls at Hello Games. This is a suggestion. This new feature of leaving some of the construction material, specifically the panels that isolated the construction site from the rest of the settlement during the construction phase, was all fine and dandy. And it adds character, and why not? But you should program it to exclude it being in front of the only door into the structure. And if you really want to do something wild and exciting, add a door to the second floor and a ladder like we have for the cylindrical room, aquatic chambers outside, so we can take the ladder and go up to the second floor. Because, well, it's just ever so slightly disappointing not to be able to go to the second floor when there clearly is one. It's even more disappointing to not being able to go to the dwelling at all. Or, interestingly enough, this one has a note saying contains hidden trapdoor. Does that mean there's a access between the ceiling of the ground floor and the floor of the second unit? We will never be able to tell. So, my 2 bits, please, when you do construction, program the animation not to leave obstacles in front of a door. And in the case of a dwelling with only one door, or structure with only one door, the door. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter.
This is the end, beautiful friend.